A beautiful afternoon to you listening to 9. It is the daily edition of Hot Facts with Kalada Kurubatubo, and it's a great pleasure of mine to be in the studio to bring up conversations for development which you and I will talk about and will deliberate on and ensure that we have a society that gets better by the day or by the second or by the hour, depending on how the development comes to us. Any which ways, I hope you're having a splendid day. If you are not, this is the place to be, because the conversations that we would have and the eventual solutions that we will prefer will help us, get your mood, or will help you in a better place. All right, so without further ado, you already know the show will run from now up until 7, but we will start with the big three stories. The big stories, that is how you and I will start, and I'm going to bring the big stories to you now, because I've got really interesting big stories that I like to share with you. And the first one has got to do with a conversation we started yesterday, still during the big story segment. This is a new development, or there is a new development to that story, and I captioned it. Remember, we're live on Facebook. For those of you watching on Facebook, you probably must have seen this already. We're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. We are live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH, and we are active on X, Nigeria Info PH. So the big story that I would like to share with you for a start is LP House of Reps members shun party's call to reject SUVs. You heard me right. LP House of Reps members shun party's call to reject SUVs. So we will go now to, where did I see that story again? Okay, just give me a minute. We'll go to one of the newspapers now. I think it's the Punch newspaper. Yeah, the Punch newspaper. And it has the caption, LP lawmakers Sean Abure set to collect SUVs. Now, Labour Party lawmakers in the National Assembly have ignored the advice of the party's national chairman, Julius Abure, not to be a part of the luxury official vehicles being planned for legislators. Abure had in a statement on Monday where he said the National Assembly leadership was planning to buy a sport utility vehicle SUVs worth 160 million naira for each lawmaker. By the way, that amount is humongous. It's large. It's weighty. Given the fact that the dollar in the black market, or should I say in the parallel market, has yet again gone up against the naira, now somewhere around the region of 1,555 naira, and it's crazy. It is. Is it 1,155? I can't remember, but I do know dollar has gone up yet again against the naira, and I'm looking at the story of the reps members getting SUVs worth 160 million naira for one. It's crazy, right? It's crazy, and I think I agree with the Labour Party chairman that it's immoral. It is indeed condemnable. Yeah, but that's what he described it as. He called it insensitive, condemnable. And he said the lawmakers should take a look at the dire economic situation. But when asked on Thursday whether LP lawmakers would do as Abure said, the lawmaker representing Delta Ngozi Okoli said Abure's demands were unrealistic, particularly because he had yet to provide them with alternatives to carry out their jobs. Oh my goodness. I like the story because I remember when we talked about it sometime this week, I mentioned the reason why they said they needed the SUVs, 160 million naira, and it is because they want to use the vehicles to ply roads that are not very good, ply terrains that have very bad roads. And then I asked myself, should we not be looking at repairing the roads instead? Because, I mean, we still will want to repair those roads, right? The Minister of Works is looking at repairing all the federal roads in the country. So if we're looking at repairing the roads, what is the need of buying such expensive vehicles? Should the legislators, whose primary responsibility is to checkmate the executive, one of their primary responsibility is to checkmate the executive, should they not be demanding that the roads, are good and enjoyed by citizens of Nigeria, and not leave it in such dilapidated state and say you're going to buy? Anyways, we've talked about all of this, but what the focus now is, LP members are saying we don't have an alternative. We have to do our job, and for us to do our job, we need 160 million SUV. We need that Jeep. What are you talking about? We need that Jeep. And if the LP chairman wants us to reject it, he has to give us an alternative. He has to, tell us what and how and where we can get tools to, get our jobs done. Interesting. And, the lawmaker went ahead to say the SUVs are meant to aid our jobs as lawmakers, particularly as it relates to our oversight functions. Yes, he can say that the economy is struggling, but having one official vehicle as a federal lawmaker isn't frivolous. It is a necessity. So do you agree? Do you agree with Okoli? Do you agree that it is a necessity? Do you agree that the lawmakers need, not just want and desire, but they need the SUVs? All right. I mean, to the fact that we tend to forget, but the Labour Party has now brought it back to the fore, and we're enjoying the drama, I should say. But let's move on now to the next big story. The next big story is an article I saw and I did like, and I like to share with you. And very soon, a lot of people will be talking about it because it's been talked about before. And this story focuses on the educational sector. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge one story from yesterday with the story I'm looking at today. So what's the story about? Medical students should sign to serve Nigeria for 5 years before they can japa. And this is coming from the VC of UniMed. Yes, so he's saying that medical students should sign some agreement, sign a bond that they're going to serve for 5 years after graduation before they can go elsewhere. And he said this will tame the brain drain in the medical profession. So the Vice Chancellor of the University of Medical Sciences, UniMed, Ondo, Professor Adeshegun Fatusi, has advised Nigerian government that medical students in government-owned institutions be made to sign a bond to serve the country over a period of 5 years before they can go abroad after graduation. Fatusi made the advice on the sideline of the 6-day scientific conference and annual general meeting of the Association of Clinical and Academic Physiotherapists of Nigeria, which ends on October 21 at UniMed. So do you agree? I mean, this is not the first time we get into hear something like this, given the fact that we have a lot of people leaving the country and a lot of them studied in Nigeria with what we like to say subsidized tuition fees. And now when they get their certificates and when they get, when they graduate from the school, they tend to want to go practice abroad because abroad is paying better. You go to work in the UK, for instance, you get to earn better. You get to even have the basic amenities, the basic needs that the government here in Nigeria is failing to provide for its people. So a lot of people are looking outside. A lot of people are wanting to work outside once they graduate. And there seems to be brain drain in the medical profession. So sometimes you go to the hospital and you have people who are not as experienced as they should be, looking at patients and treating patients. And he's saying, let them serve 5 years first before they can leave. Yeah. So do you think that makes sense? Do you think that makes sense? What do you make of it? I'd like to hear from you. But let's quickly get to the last story. And this last story is really controversial. You can find it on the Sun newspaper. And it has to do with the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and all the saga against him. Supreme Court will start hearing on Monday. And I told you one time that the drama will get interesting as it grows or as it goes by. And it's looking more interesting because the Sun newspaper has reported that the president has filed a motion to stop FBI in the United States orders from looking into or from releasing his file. So you know how these Western countries operate. Once you get into their country, they open a file for you, just like you get to UPTH now and say you're sick. And if you've never been there before, they open the file for you, so that they can have your records and your medical history. And that's how they do it in the United States. So he has a file, all his activities, his credentials, his identification, everything that is in that file. And some people went to courts asking the court to grant them a freedom of information to Tinubu's files. And, the court asked FBI, CIA, DEA, and some other institutions in America, some other government agencies to release the files of the president. And now the president has gone to court, according to the Sun newspaper, to stop the release of those files, just like during the Chicago State University situation. It's really getting interesting. But I have a question. Just like I did ask during the Chicago State University time, what could be the reason why the president would not want his files to be released? He's the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nigerians deserve to know, right? But what could be? What could be? I'm just asking, and I don't know if you got the answers to that. But remember, I want civil contributions, not contributions that are insulting or that assassinates anybody's character. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we do come back, I'll open the phone lines, and I'd like to hear from you on these three big stories. What are you thinking? I'll be right back. point 3 Nigeria Info. You're listening to Hard Facts with Kalada Kurubatu. The time is 29 minutes gone past the hour of 3. All right. We're looking at the big 3 stories that I've reeled out, the 3 big stories, and it's time for me to get your thoughts. What are you thinking? Which of these big stories have piqued your interest? I'd like to know, and I'd like to know what you're thinking. And let's talk food development. The phone lines to ring the studio with are 0817 923 0002. And the order number is 0817 923 0003. First one, 0817 923 0002. And 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. I've got Jonah, and Jonah is calling me from Buguma. All right, let's listen.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, Jonah. Welcome. Greetings. What's on your mind?
Yeah, brother.
Yeah,
good
hi.
Afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I'm Jonah from Buguma. Yesterday, we talked about this Labour National asking their National Assembly members to reject the 160 million naira SUV Jeep. I said that yesterday that these House of Reps members, they will not reject that gift. Because, the way the country is, you are just sitting down doing this, that, they will just give you a SUV Jeep worth of 160 million. They will not reject it. They will never. Never. For the other one, our president going to court to stop FBI from releasing his file. My brother, that one, they get that bill. Now God go help us.
All right, then.
If there is no skeleton in his cupboard, why will you telling FBI not to release his profile?
All right, you're asking me the same question I've asked you. But Jonah, thank you very much. I've got to go. I've got a lumbar from artillery waiting.
I greet you, my brother.
I greet you right back. What is on your mind?
I want to talk about AP telling their members not to collect the Jeep.
Oh, okay. And then the reply. We're talking about the reply. We're talking about the reply.
What is sustainable in the ground now? Their members should come back again.
I said we are talking about the reply. Someone from the House of Reps that belongs to the Labour Party, Okoli, has replied, and she has said that they will take it because it is an official vehicle.
Yes, but that's where I want commenting. I want comment on AP.
Okay.
See, what I'm saying is this. What is obtainable on ground now? I will tell the chairman and say, make you allow the members to collect the Jeep. But what my own concern in all these things now, they say, since one person will have 160 million Jeep, the person will still have wardrobe allowance, newspaper allowance, sitting allowance. There's no way Nigeria will have a very good election in a case like this. There's no way. Because the money is too attractive. So when something is attractive like that, the human being will do everything humanly possible about that thing. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
That is my own concern. If they did not do anything to cut this money down, anybody will think that election, this is my leg, back and not go and see that and stand for life for 3 hours. Somebody will change my result and then tell us all manner of story.
All right.
With this type of thing, we can't have a good election.
All right.
Somebody dream, think about this thing. Where people never see food, eat this money, and they're giving person this money. It's very, very dangerous.
All right, thank you, Lumba. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. I've got Ida from Inkoro. Ida, welcome on the show.
Yeah,
what is on your mind? Oh my goodness, we lost that call. Please do call back if you can, and let's hear from you. Let's see. This one says, "Man of the people, greetings and happy weekend jamboree. Julius Abure is on his own. If Labour Party members in the National Assembly reject the SUV cars, will Julius Abure buy SUV cars for them? On the issue of Tinubu filing a motion to stop FBI from releasing his files, is there anything Tinubu's hiding from us? A clear heart fears no accusation from Tango Ability at Twig. All right, thank you very much. Let's see this one. I would get to your message. Fiaga, it's a long read, so I have to skip it. But I've got Frank, and Frank is calling from D-Line. Frank, good to have you on the show. Frank, are you there?
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, Frank, welcome on the show.
Canada, yesterday we talked about this Labour Party issue. Today now, I think I told you yesterday that these people will not reject the car. I think one of them have come out to say that the car is for their official use. And I know that every Nigerian like good thing, no matter the party the person come from. So yesterday I said it. I know more will still come out to say to talk the same thing. So that is all about it. This is my comment this afternoon. Thank you and God bless you.
All right then. All right, thank you very much. I've got Kenneth from Port Harcourt. Kenneth, greetings to you. Welcome on the show. What is on your mind?
Good afternoon, my brother and friend.
Yeah, I greet you, Kenneth.
I'm Kenneth from Port Harcourt.
Okay.
My worry about this issue of Labour Party and their chairman. These people never represented anybody for themselves. On the Tinubu granted to SBI, what is trying to hide? What is the issue? Why can't they allow things to go the way it should be? What is he trying to tell us? What is the system in this certificate you are talking about every day? And if the common people will give the same to mind, they don't take it cost. So I'm more concerned on that. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Still talking on the LP House of Reps members saying that they would collect the vehicle. One other person who goes by name Stainless Wodo said President Bola Tinubu deserves commendation for approving such vehicles for lawmakers. And of course, he is the lawmaker representing Igbo Etiti and Uzo Wani constituencies in Enugu State. He said President deserves commendation for approving the purchase of the vehicles for lawmakers. So I'm wondering, would they really refuse, say no to the SUV official vehicles? All right, back to the WhatsApp portal. Since this LP lawmakers shun parties call to reject SUV cars. SUVs, why SUV and cars? You should have just said SUVs. But it also says Canada, like I mentioned yesterday, these LP lawmakers are just the usual politicians who use the good name of Peter Obi to go out to get into the corridors of power. Yes, I agree they need official vehicles, but SUVs of over 130 million on a struggling economy is a big disgrace. Medical students to sign a bond of 5 years agreement before traveling. I can only agree with this on the ground that the state will take care of my tuition fee and other needs in school, else there is no moral ground for such a call. Trust me, we have a lot of doctors and nurses out there who do not have a job or are underemployed. Let federal government focus on employing and paying health workers better salaries. Lastly, Canada, there is a lot of controversy surrounding the president. I believe there is a lot of cockroaches. There are lots of cockroaches, you should have said, in his cupboard, and right now the cupboard is beginning to break apart. I can guarantee you that with the controversy surrounding the president, no serious investor will want to risk his investment in Nigeria. Countries will not want to associate with Nigeria, and in the end, this will come back to harm both the country and the citizens. The president should save himself and resign, Daniel from Ozwaba said. All right, Zion is calling from GRA. Zion, greeting you. Welcome on the show.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome.
It's a stand-up ovation for the Labour Party senators who have replied.
House of Reps members, you mean?
House of Reps who have replied the party chairman.
Yeah.
I think the party chairman call does not own a sense of belonging.
What do you mean by that?
It lacks integrity, and I'm happy the Reps member did not take him serious.
All right.
I want to ask the Labour chairman, the E4 nomination of interest, expression of interest and nomination forms, were they sold for free to those members? Were they given for free for members? The party funds their campaign? These are questions I'm asking the Labour Party chairman. And I know most of us want to raise sentiment as if these labor rep members are the problem of this country. Do we have any MOU with these people? Go there, don't collect any vehicle, anything they give you, abandon it. Why are we like this in this part of the world?
All right.
Sir, are you aware the only thing the party did is see that they sponsor a candidate? It's just a word. The party don't give you money. You fund your election. You fund your logistics. And if this is a medium that the Nigerian government, led by President Tinubu, felt need to ascertain to the need of these people, and Mr. President doing it through the National Assembly or through the rep head, we should always encourage them. These people borrowed money from places. Some of them are still in debt. They sacrifice their lives. Some sacrifice their relationship, sacrifice their marriages, sacrifice their job, sacrifice everything to get there. Let's give them at least a slacking cord. Allow them to be there for a period.
All right.
For the next season, we can know what to say, but for now, allow them to enjoy the largest.
All right,
they
then.
deserve it.
All right, thank you very much, Zion. Clinton from Bury. Clinton, greetings quickly. Let's get your thoughts then.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
No one, I don't think anyone is against them collecting these XUVs.
Okay.
It is their own choice.
Mm.
But what we are saying is that given the economic situation of the country, that we are borrowing on a daily basis, they even borrow to buy them SUV. That is it a good thing? That's bringing morality into what we are doing.
Mm.
It's not that they should not accept it. We are saying that the country is not stable now.
Okay.
What is their own contribution in stabilizing the economy of the country? So nobody is stopping them. You come in on there and say, did you sponsor that?
Oh my! What happened there? What? Do call back, please, if you can. I've got to make up from. Oh, I missed that one as well. Something's wrong with the phone lines, but please do call back if you can. Clinton, I'd like to complete what you were saying. But on Facebook, Nkoi Kanke Udwaka is texting, and it says LP House of Reps shun parties calls to reject SUVs. I have always said it. There is no difference between ordinary Nigerians and the politicians. These are people who used to drive Okadas and Keke. Believe me, if these guys don't collect that SUV, ordinary Nigerians in their community will call them Mugus and ask them if they're the ones that will make Nigeria better. Tomorrow we will wonder how the country is like this. Imahari, good day, Canada. It will be totally unacceptable for Labour Party members in the House to accept that SUV car or SUVs. SUVs, I mean, you can't say SUV in cars because the full meaning of SUV is sports utility vehicles, right? So you can't say SUV cars. But then you said it will be unacceptable for Labour Party members in the House to accept the cars from government. Do these LP members realize that the SUV cars are bribes in disguise? Honestly, the members need to reject that Trojan gift called SUV cars. The government knows that is how it will be before giving it to them, all right? And that's what we have on Facebook from Imahari. Emmanuel Silvanus Opuna Viobo says the LP parliamentarians will be paid salaries and allowances, so nobody should tell us that they should collect cars because they spent money to contest for elections. They need vehicles, but they should be given less expensive vehicles. Each one is 160 million. Too much, he says. Too much. And I do agree with you. I do. This one says information. Good afternoon, presenter. There is a street light pole that fell along Air Force Junction about Road Expressway. Please, those responsible for maintenance should do something about it. That can cause an accident on the way. Thanks from Alfred Osumiari. All right, thank you very much for that information. I would ask the news team to put it in their bulletin. But I've got Chris from Port Harcourt. Chris, welcome. What is on your mind, please?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, Chris, welcome.
Yeah. Well, let me from this one, please, I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, then.
Yeah. Let me contribute on Labour Party candidate or non-member
replied that they will take the SPU. To tell you the truth, if these people are working with people, I don't see reason why they should accept that SPU, because what they preach to Nigerians extravagant life of the APC. Now, the people that claim that they don't eat meat are now going to use the same mouth to share meat with the children. I looked at what they preach to Nigerians that they are. It's not what they are.
Okay.
These people, these men told us that APC are languishing our wealth, that we should vote them out, that they are coming and their integrity, they are the same APC now, they are now going to join them to eat the same extravagant food. They promise us that they are coming in different ways. People, you should know people that you work with.
So Chris, let me ask you a question. So you think if Peter Obi was president, he would not have bought an official vehicle? Is that what you're saying?
You got an official vehicle. What we are talking about now, that official vehicle is too costly. You know that since how many days now I've been in blackout. These men are not talking about what we have been bettering up since 1960. They're talking about SUV. And in my office now, I have work to do, but I don't have light, I don't have fuel. How will I make my delivery today?
All right.
We are not talking about SUV.
All right.
This.
All right, thank you, Chris. I've got to go. Ida from Inkoro, welcome. What's on your mind, please?
Yeah, Kalada, I agree with you.
Yes, welcome. Sorry about the last time.
To collect that SUV, because they are right. Now, I want to ask a question, Kalada. You're working in Nigeria. Maybe they are calling us journalists. Maybe state government want to give people maybe award or any other thing, or money or any other thing. You will tell me that because of his
I wouldn't collect. No, I wouldn't collect.
So they should collect.
I wouldn't collect.
Don't reject anything. They are not telling to defect you from Labour Party to APC.
Okay.
They are giving everybody. They are not bribing them.
Okay.
Let them collect,
All
please.
All right.
It's a constitutional right.
All right then.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ida. Let's look at some messages. Let's see. This one says, "I'm not yet a doctor, but thank you very much. Greetings to you." He said, "Have you ever entered all these big men cars? When it gets into potholes, you wouldn't feel it on like our regular vehicles. So I understand the selfish position of our lawmakers. They need their body and soul intact to make laws for the very good people of Nigeria, even when they get into these gallops. Simply goodness from Alakaya." I get your point. This one says, "LP House of Rep members Shun party call to reject SUVs." I was not surprised that they will decline the call by the party asking them to reject the cars, and they will definitely give strong reasons why they will collect the SUVs worth of hundreds of millions. Look, AD, Nigerians are funny. This same LP assembly members would have been criticizing those in the assembly for taking the cars had it been they are not in the assembly, but today they have the opportunity to be there. Instead of changing the system, they have allowed the system they promised to change them. In all glory to God from Actor. But really, is it such a big deal collecting these cars? I'm just asking, is it really a big deal? All right, let's listen to Real Gift from Port Harcourt Township. All right, Real Gift, welcome.
Good afternoon to you, Chief K.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Chief K, nobody goes to ask a native doctor why good thing happened to them.
Okay.
The legislator should collect. They said official vehicles. Is it not?
Oh, okay.
What did they go gain if they don't collect them? Are they activists?
So they said.
So for me, they deserve the office. That is part of the perks of the office they occupy.
Okay.
But if on individual basis they decide, say, for whatever reason, I don't go take them because I get car I go use for my operations. All well and good. And briefly on that side of the medical students, is it that these students will be sponsored by the government or the state? Let me know, please.
Usually, Real Gift, education in Nigeria is said to be subsidized. The government has made it cheap, and so if subsidy were to be removed, then education would cost close to $1 million or thereabouts, just like in the private sector. And so they are arguing if we make it cheap for you, then you should be able to give back to the country.
Chief K,
Yeah, I can hear you.
what about the lawyers? What about those in the management sciences? What about those in the other sphere? Why is it only on the medical side that you not tell me that I will sign a bond, say when I finish 5 years for the money? Is it that these other professions, are they not being subsidized, please?
Of course they are.
What is good for Tamna should be good for Dokubo.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Real Gift. Thank you very much. I've got Mac and after. Oh, my.
Hello?
Yeah, Mac, welcome.
Hello, am I speaking with the Nigerian Info?
Yes, Mac, you are.
Okay. Canada, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but where you are is very noisy.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Concerning the issue of Labour Party, it's very straightforward. Some of us, we have told Nigerians that it is not about party, it is about individual. There is no difference between Labour Party and any other political party in Nigeria.
Why'd you say so?
Including their presidential candidates.
Why'd you say so?
They are all Nigerians.
Okay.
There is no difference between them. Even their chairman that is telling them not to collect the car, if he is elected a senator or he has a press member, he himself will collect that step. He's the official.
Okay.
So we have to in all the parties. You see, there is no difference between them. So nobody should expect people in Labour Party to behave different. They are all one and the same, including the presidential candidate Labour Party and all our presidential candidates. They are one of them.
All right. So, thank you. I've got to let you go. Good day. It is evil if we want to compel med students to fund service. They already paid the dues. That's fine and cheap. With all due respect, shame on the fellow. As for Labour Party lawmakers, forget that thing. They only wrote it up on the goodwill of Mr. Italy on their contributions to events in our country. Nah. All right, Newton Ikira, thank you very much. That's on Facebook. But let's come to WhatsApp now. The National Assembly members for the most development by the vehicles for the sale. Why is amending such money when the masses are living in poverty, as Isaiah is asking? This is a Canada. Julius Aburia done noble by advising Labour Party lawmakers. Posterity will remember him and also remember that we do. Bernard Potakat. This is Canada. Good day. Okay, Newton Ikea, I've read your message, and let's go to the next one. Good day, Mr. Canada. LP House of Rep members should lead by example by rejecting the SUVs. Asking medical students to serve for 5 years before they can jackpot is a no for me. They have the right to jackpot at any given opportunity. Thank you. And this is coming from Anna. All right, this one says, Abba, will these SUV solve the problems, or will it solve their problems? This Tinubu administration is confused. Labour Party is correct. Confidence in Lebadim from Ozuzu Eche. All right. This one says, good evening, Canada. Did you expect anything different from those LP NAS members? Assuming the LP has an ideology, do they know and believe in it? They only use LP as a vehicle to get to NAS. No more, no less. Not even the leaders of that party have any attachment to it. It is all politics. According to Simon Kolawole, for Nigeria, nobody will pass. So, Gift Waldo, thank you very much for your contribution. This one says, honestly, Canada, the government has succeeded in bringing crisis between LP lawmakers and the party. Watch out, Ima Otaka in Choba. And this one says, Julius Aburi and others are not fair to the legislators. Each legislator actually deserves a minimum of 3 SUVs. Anyone who doesn't like it, or who doesn't like the brand of our legislature and democracy, can relocate to Gaza. After all, like Mr. Zion said, they sacrificed their to get into office. Ben, you're not a serious person, really. But let's read the final one. Can I read the final one? Let's see. Oh wow, so long to read from now. Season, I'll read the remaining messages after the break. After the break, we'll start other conversations. So do stay tuned to 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kabiru Badu, and this is Hard Facts. Stay tuned.